Throwback Thursday, guys. Here's one of my favorite movie reviews, a 1989 classic, faith-based independent family film. Of course, I'm talking about Saturday's Warrior, the beloved LDS stage production that began as a stake roadshow, evolved into a wildly popular musical, and was eventually adapted for the big screen in an unforgettable cinematic saga. This campy film is so fun and silly. Keep watching.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong. My name is D-Vase, and today is October 14, 2022. This is episode 35, where we will be reviewing Saturday's Warrior 1989, running time 115 minutes. This review works best if you have seen this film before, though that is not required. Spoiler alert. Your synopsis. Two siblings make promises to each other in the pre-existence, but find themselves on very different paths once on Earth. I'd like to thank Latter-day Saint Video Vault for some of this review that I plagiarized from them. The epic tale begins. We hear grand music and see the world. We fly through the clouds and see the title card and hear the lyrics of the title finale anthem, Saturday's Warrior.
Are these children coming down like gentle rain through dark skies, with glory trailing from their feet as they go, and endless promise in their eyes.
Yeah, we open up with pastel-draped characters in the clouds. There are stars, lots of fog, and other spirits who walk by. As we're in the premortal life, we hear the murmurings of a large crowd. We eventually meet Todd, a spirit about to be born on Earth. Julie is his spirit girlfriend, is worried that Todd will be too attractive, and Julie will not. She is worried they will not be together, and all he wants is to have a wild fling. Todd assures her that they will recognize each other and be together again. He begins a duet with Julie that speaks of their eternal love in Circle of Our Love, because the circle of their love extends beyond the reach of time. Beyond the span of days and years, it goes forever. It extends beyond the reach of time. And if you'd like to reach me beyond the reach of time, then send me an email to mormonmoviereviews@gmail.com. Let's listen to the Circle of Our Love.
If you're the strangest looking girl on earth, I'd still love you.
Oh, Todd.
And one day we'll stand across from each other, just like we are now, and I'll say, "Don't I recognize you from somewhere?" And you'll say,
Well, you do look familiar.
and then I'll say,
I've seen that smile somewhere before.
I've heard your voice before.
It seems we've talked like this before. Sometime, who can be certain when?
But if I knew you then, it's strange I can't remember.
Their song is interrupted as Todd is on final approach for his birth on Earth. There is an air traffic controller of sorts who's named the matron in the credits. She's frantic and tells him that if he misses this slot, he'll be born in Siberia, because I guess that's how it works. You could be sent somewhere wrong. Julie and Todd come together to finish their song and embrace one final time. Todd ends the song by climbing up on a white platform, and with a flash of thunder and swirling stars, he disappears.
The circle of our love extends beyond the reach of time. Beyond the span of days and years, it goes forever. The circle of our love is found in every romance and dream. That lips may breathe, or hearts may beat forever.
Forever and ever.
Forever.
Forever and ever.
Julie is joined by other pastel warriors who are the rest of her future family on Earth. The Flinders. Pam and Jimmy are to be the twins and the oldest. Then there's Julie, Alice, Benji, Ernie, and Shelley. Pam and Jimmy are nearing the end of their life in the pre-existence, and Benji interviews them and asks them what they fear most about life on Earth. Jimmy fears that others will not stand up to his raw animal magnetism, and Pam is worried that she'll just be a sweet spirit. She says that even that will be okay if she can just dance her way through life. The final Flinders, Emily, appears and is worried. Flinders child number 8, Emily, is worried that she'll be forgotten and not born at all. They hesitate to mention the word abortion as the reason that Emily won't be born. Jimmy comforts her and promises that they will all stick together. This, of course, brings on the song Pullin' Together. The siblings sing about the challenges of Earth life that can be overcome by family. Jimmy even sings, "What will happen if there comes a day when I lose my way? What will you do?" Emily says she'd be willing to die for Jimmy, but they will pull it together and work it out. Pullin' together.
What do we do when the going gets tough and the journey is rough? What do we do?
Courage take, for goodness sake. And when we're out of courage and we're ready to break, we've got our father and mother, sister and brother. Pulling together, we can work it out.
The music quickly fades and the beat changes. We see a pair of men strut toward the platform. They are Wally Kessler and Howard Green, and they are convinced that they will be the best missionaries ever known. They sing about it in humble way. Their humble missionary march loudly sings of slicing the wicked asunder and righteous Harry Carey. Is there a righteous form of that? I don't think it's in Preach My Gospel, but that wasn't around in 1989, so you get the idea. They're about to be sent to Earth, but the matron switches them at the last minute. She has a sigh of relief because she has sent kids to wrong mothers once before. Anyway, thankfully the nurses switched them back. They laugh and laugh. I guess that's how this whole thing works. It's kind of crazy. Let's listen to The Humble Way.
We are not the ordinary, fearlessly extraordinary, working righteous Harry Carey in our humble way.
The matron finds Jimmy and Pam and tells them to get ready. Pam says that she's going to miss the pre-existence and feels sad and afraid. She asks Jimmy to promise that they will always be close. Jim and Pam agree that it is scary on Earth, and Jimmy begins to sing of moving from the harbor of premortal life to Earth in Sailing On, while being accompanied by lyric dancers. This is definitely my favorite song in the movie, which is why I'm going to play a bit more of it. I really resonate with Jimmy, so let's listen to Sailing On.
What is that sound rising up from the world? The swell of the tide at the gate, where children set sail without knowing too well that the time is growing late, growing late, growing late. I'm sailing on, I'm not a stranger. My faith will ride through wind and tide and stormy sea. I'm sailing on out of the harbor. There is a distant lamp that lights the way for me. I hope they hold it high so I can see. I'm sailing on.
We eventually cut to the real world where Wally Kessler is at the airport. He's in his missionary suit with his name tag. Julie is now his girlfriend, and she does not want him to go on a mission. True to his premortal personality, he just can't wait to get out there. He just wants her to be there when he comes back. He reads a notice he had her sign promising that she would be there to marry him when he returns, as Julie recites it. She says that she will be there when he returns in great glory. And Julie, she's offended that Wally questions her loyalty and sarcastically asks him, "Will I wait for you?" Setting up a production number of the same name. Yes, Elder Kessler, Julie will wait for him like a burger waits for fries. Julie is shoved out of the way as Elder Kessler takes the spotlight. This looks like a winning relationship to me. as Elder Kessler is about to embark on his Mormon mission in power and great glory.
Doesn't morning wait for the sun to rise like a birthday waits for a big surprise, like a baby waits for a diaper change? Doesn't laughter wait for a joke that's good, like a big bad wolf for Red Riding Hood, like a cowboy waits to be home on a range? After all I've said and all I've done to prove my love is true, and now you ask if I'll wait for you.
Well,
Doesn't mother wait for the bread to rise, like a burger waits for an order of fries, like a chicken waits for the egg to
oh, Julie, this is ridiculous. All I'm asking is, will you wait for me?
This is final boarding call. All passengers, flight 231 for
Oh,
Los
this is
Angeles.
it.
Now
Oh,
boarding gate
Wally, I
set.
will wait for you. If they should torture me with ants and leave me to dry in the sun, I will still be true.
Yes.
Didn't Alice wait for a wonderland, like Captain Hook did for Peter Pan, like the alphabet waited for
Fear and tremble, you depraved world. Elder Kessler's on his way.
Like a faithful girl waits for her missionary.
We cut to a television studio where the Flenders, parents Bob and Carol, with their 8 children, perform a musical number as Rivendell Family of the Year. They sing a novelty number called Daddy's Nose while wearing Jimmy Durante-style prosthetics. The only thing different is that Pam is now using a wheelchair. Daddy's Nose.
All my friends told me, take advantage of your face. Other people so endowed have really gone someplace. So I dreamed of Hollywood till it occurred to me someone beat me to the punch named Jimmy Durante.
A nose is a nose, like a rose is a rose, as everybody knows. But may we propose that the rosiest nose is the one that plainly shows.
You ain't got a nose unless it touches your toes, and it grows every time that it blows.
Wouldn't be so bad if it'd stay with old Dad, but we've all got Daddy's nose.
And we cut to Jimmy hanging out with Mac and the other friends who sarcastically comment on the little production number they did on TV last night. Little? Were there 10 or 20 of you? They continue to make fun of his large family and how children are a life sentence. Are you guys through? Jimmy finally asks, exasperated. We are if your parents are. The friends talk about the world and limiting the number of those born into it to maximize the resources. Seems like the perfect material for a frothy production number. Mac and company launch into zero population. The subtly named song speaks of the world bursting at the seams. We are doomed without controlling the population. No more kids. Jimmy tries to leave, but he's pulled back. No more kids is the only answer to the world's overpopulation. Hey!
Every day the world is getting smaller by far. Bursting at the seams, what can we do? Zero population is the answer, my friend. Without it, the rest of us are doomed.
Very aggressive. Who will survive?
Who can survive? Not one of us will be alive. Who can be some? Who can be some when every inch is gone? Who can survive? Who can survive? Not one of us will be alive. Who can be some? Who can be some when Mother Earth is gone?
We join the Flinders back at home, where Jimmy lethargically walks to a chair. Carol is excited that everyone's finally home. Even Bob is there, and all the kids fill the room. Shelley asks Mom if she loves all the kids the same. She heard a story at school about parents who had to give a child away. Julie eventually enters, but she's also sad. Wally, he's been away for a whole week. And Benji, he's having absolutely none of this. He starts making some insensitive comments, and he's eventually forced to apologize for his rude comments. Jimmy, he doesn't care about any of this stuff. He says the answer to life's problems is just to not have any more kids. Zero population is the answer. They ask what's wrong, and Jimmy says that he's fine. He pushes Bob and Carol about their plans for another child. Bob asks him, why is this any of your business? Well, I'm part of the human race, aren't I? How many more are coming? 2, 20, or 60? Carol cries, and Jimmy storms out. Alice ushers the younger kids away, but Bob wonders, is this normal teenage brain damage?
Really love me? Didn't we raise him? Why can't they understand? Can they see I'm not a child? I'm a man. When they love me for the curse and for the sin. Didn't we love me in spite of me? Didn't we love him?
Jimmy has stormed off, and Pam joins him outside. She draws comfort from knowing that she is a child of God and asks if he really believes what he said. Jimmy responds crossly, and she suggests that he should take all his drama and be an actor and maybe portray a gallant knight. He blames her ridiculousness on a change of medication. Jimmy just wants freedom to find out things for himself and pursue his own goals. He complains that Pam's perfect faith and positive outlook are unreal. He has lots of questions, which Pam tells him will be revealed from the Lord, line upon line, precept upon precept.
We are patient, we shall see how the pieces fit together in harmony. We'll know who we are in this big universe, and then we'll live with him forever. But until it happens, line upon line, precept on precept, like a summer shower, giving us each hour his wisdom. Line upon line upon line upon line upon line upon line upon line.
We cut to Julie's room. Wally, he's been out on his mission for all of 2 weeks, but Julie is prepared to go on a date with another boy named Paul. Benji and Ernie, they are offended on Wally's behalf, and they end up leaving the room. Although her feelings for Wally are eternal, she can hardly be expected to put herself in cold storage for 2 years. She sings about her date and decision to cut Wally off in He's Just a Friend, Dear John, with her sisters. The song cuts back and forth between Julie and Wally as they write and correspond with each other through letters. Wally is always asking Julie if she still loves him, and Julie constantly tells him to work harder. Eventually, the exchange progresses until Wally learns that Julie has been engaged for 2 months. The girls sing Dear John while Wally laments his lost trust in women.
He's just a friend like those she counts in dozens. A kind, unselfish boy who understands her pain. He's just a friend to fan the bitter winds of sorrow. And after all, a girl can always use a friend.
Oh, Elder! I'm ruined!
I hear ya, Elder Kessler. The missionaries lament their lack of missionary success. They've been rejected and have absolutely nothing to show for all their hard work. Wally Kessler says he has suffered the biggest rejection of all and sobs on a park bench. Long-suffering Elder Green has had it. He smacks him and tells him to shape up and get back to work so they can show that two-timing wench what he's made of. Watch your language, Howard. Elder Green commits to finding baptisms even if they have to fast for 40 days. There are people who are searching even in this very park, says Elder Green. We just need imagination and courage to find them. He finally gets up on a park bench and starts making barnyard sounds and begins to sermonize, to channel the sounds of Idaho, to bring the message of salvation. Some people think he's crazy. What follows is a series of awkward interactions and golden questions to parkgoers. Wally again wonders how he can go on without Julie. Elder Green tells him to just pull it together. He grabs him by the tie and pulls him out of the park. The scene shifts to see Todd on the bench. He sings about where his life is going in Paper Dream. He's been drawing who he wants to be on paper, but somehow lacks the knowledge and ability to become the man that he draws.
But who am I? Just a wandering kid. A cipher on the wall, not even brave enough. And where's my dream like his that I would fight for? And where's my cause like his that I would die for? But still the paper's in my hand, and every day I sketch that man who knows the truth and what life's all about. My conscience says I should be here. I guess I could at least begin. But chances are I'd probably strike out.
We leave the park and we're back in the girls' room at the Flinder's house when Julie rhapsodizes about the wonder that is Peter. She never knew love until now and wants to be a good wife for him, which apparently involves keeping house. Now, he can keep house himself as well, but she seems unaware of this. It's up to her now to make herself worthy of Peter. Julie also takes up the Paper Dream anthem. Maybe, though, she realizes that Peter is not the one. Does she hear the spiritual echoes of Todd and the pre-existence? We see their visuals superimposed over each other as they reach out their hands to touch. The Paper Dream recap.
I take some paper in my hand, and with a pen at my command, I describe the girl I really want to be. A girl with courage in her brow, who's linked his doubts and fears somehow. A warrior of great nobility. Alice?
Yes, Julie?
Do you think it's possible to feel homesick even when you're at home?
Homesick? Well, I've heard love described in lots of ways, but never like that.
Now we're back in the Flinder's living room while Ernie is wheeling Pam around while Benji and Jimmy have a confrontation. Benji has gotten into Jimmy's stuff and apparently found something inappropriate. Jimmy is upset with him, and Benji, however, is tired of his big brother. And Benji is committed that once and for all, he is going to stand up and do what is right, even if Jimmy won't. He's absolutely sick of his older brother. They end up tussling in the living room in front of everyone when Jimmy pushes Benji to the ground. Jimmy runs out altogether, even though Pam, she tries to catch his hand and get him to stay. Benji thinks they should just let him go, but Alice reminds him that he's family and they're all they've got. They can't fail. Pam says that they just have to love him. But Jimmy, he's back with Mac and the crew. Some girls caress his shoulder and ask him if he's coming out with them. They're going to have a hell of a good time, James. A full production number ensues as they sing about the summer of fair weather. They sing about going out and having fun, all while loving him like a brother.
This is the summer of fair weather, and I know a place where we can get it together. Get it together whenever you're ready to go. Ooh.
Jimmy arrives home and he's surprised with a rousing chorus of "He's a jolly good fellow." His dad grabs him when he tries to leave and appeals to his sense of common courtesy. His siblings threw him a surprise party and he doesn't even seem to care. Jimmy finally relents and his siblings one by one finally give him his presents. Even though he continues to protest because, hey, it's Pam's birthday just as much as his, but his siblings barrel on. Pam goes last and asks Jimmy to kneel before her. She puts on a crown and everyone calls her the queen, and she puts a foil crown on Jimmy's head and gives him a CTR shield and a sword. She knights him and asks him to rise as a warrior. She also tells him that they're going to go see Camelot. Finally, the kids allude to a big surprise that only the parents can talk about. It's another baby. Emily is going to join them, but Jimmy is upset. Are you going to keep it? Why don't you just drop a whole litter, Jimmy shouts. Well, they kept you, his sister shouts back at his older brother. Angered by his words towards Carol, Bob lashes out, and he strikes Jimmy. Carol, she collapses in tears. This has broken the family apart. Jimmy and he's wanting to party with Mac and his friends. And poor Carol. All of a sudden, we are back in the pre-existence and we see Emily. She's told she can't leave yet. Apparently, Carol has miscarried. What about your promise, Jimmy? But Jimmy's promise doesn't mean anything to him. He's back with Mac and his friends. It was a big party and Jimmy was in rare form last night. It starts to thunder and rain threatens. The friends joke that the rain will wash away his sins. His friends leave to avoid the rain, but he stays behind to be on his own. He ends up pulling out a letter they had been keeping from Pam. In the movie, Pam narrates the letter. Jimmy, he's left home, but Pam, she's back in the hospital. He relates some stories of family life. She relates some stories of family life and encourages him to find his own version of freedom, knowing who you are. She prays that he will know he is a child of God. Pam encourages him to find answers line upon line. Jimmy, he's going to leave, but then all of a sudden, Todd asks him to wait as he's sketching Jimmy. As Todd sketches, they begin to talk. Todd asks Jimmy about his family, and Jimmy starts complaining. Todd suggests that he's going to try to convince him that they are horrible so that he won't miss them. Todd finishes the picture and hands it to Jimmy, who says it's not him. Todd just says it isn't him yet and explains that his art is to draw people the way that they could be. Todd shows him the self-portrait. Hey, we're in the same boat. No one knows where we are going. Jimmy disagrees. Then why are you hanging out on an empty park? Todd continues. Not having your head on straight is not what I call freedom. Freedom is knowing who you are. And once you know that, the rest will straighten itself out. The words spark something within Todd. He wants to know more. He tries to stop Jimmy before he goes and senses that there is something more that Jimmy knows, but he isn't sharing. Later, Jimmy is in the park alone, and one of his friends comes back to tell him that there's an important message he needs to call home right away. He goes to a payphone and dials his family. All of a sudden, the rain starts, and he reaches his family, and he drops to the ground in anguish and agony. Pam has died in the hospital. This is a thunderbolt to the young man, and he rushes back to his family. We see Pam in the pre-existence, or the postmortal existence, depending on how you call it, and she is reuniting with Emily. And the two sisters are reunited and mingled together in a weird sort of way. Emily wonders why Jimmy didn't keep his promise. Pam speaks of Jimmy's free agency and being distracted. They whisper for Jimmy to try and remember his promise. Then we see Jimmy alone on a bench. Everyone is gone and he's surrounded by darkness. He sings Brace Me Up, a song of regret and contemplation.
Who am I? Where am I going? Here I sit all alone, not knowing why. Brace me up, I'm so discouraged. I think I'm gonna die.
We see the Flinders family at Pam's graveside. The family stands to one side, but Jimmy appears and through the woods, and they welcome him back with open arms, and the family embraces. The family has been reconciled, even though they're still missing Pam. Back in the park, Elders Kessler and Green get up from their prayers. This is apparently the 8th time that they prayed to dedicate the park for missionary work. They're hoping this time it will stick. Elder Green is tired from the fasting. Finally, they notice Todd. They go to speak to him. They introduce themselves to him, show him their name tags. They give him some pamphlets and a copy of the Book of Mormon. He seems interested. Todd surrenders his cigarettes and lighter, and they grind them up under their feet one by one. Elder Green, he even helps him practice baptism and ends up knocking him to the ground. They shake hands. Clearly, he has been converted in one afternoon in the park. The golden investigator Todd smiles. The elders leave the park triumphantly. They note the joy in Todd's eyes, but they are also sure that he is going to be stake president material. They sing a brief and humble way reprise that is truly humble and grateful. They finally found They finally found the investigator that they were looking for, a truly golden convert. Humble way.
We are not the ordinary, fearlessly extraordinary, working righteous Harry Carey. In our humble
We cut to Julie in her room. Her parents come to talk to her as she's having doubts about the wedding. She's engaged and it's only 3 days away. Her father says doubts are normal, but Julie says that there's something wrong. It's much deeper. Bob says it's her decision, and he and Carol end up leaving the room. Julie looks up, and the scene fades out as we see Todd reading the Book of Mormon. It cuts back and forth between them as they begin to sing a duet, Feelings of Forever.
It all fits together now. I lived before I came here.
Please, dear Father, what are these feelings?
I am a son of God. I have a destiny, an eternal purpose.
Feelings of forever come so strong. They follow us like jewels that light the path behind. Calendars of time we almost knew, that trembled in a lamp much brighter than the sun. I recall the morning you arose, shining like a star on an endless sea of sand. And the tender child in your eyes, as the compass crossed out, I took your hand. And now we lift the veil and try to understand, and reach for what we were before we were, to finally come again back to the start where we began.
Next, we see Julie at the airport. She's waiting for Wally's flight. She knew that Peter wasn't the only one and that she botched things up. Elder Green, Harold, ends up running into Julie in the waiting area. He's there because Elder Kessler said that there was a big surprise. He also says that he can see why Wally had such a hard time getting over Julie. That seems to make Julie happy despite its creepy delivery. Her happiness is quickly interrupted as the gate agent makes an announcement that Wally paid for. I'm requesting to make this special paid announcement, just arriving now through Gate 7, returning in great humility and glory from a triumphal soul-saving mission. Please welcome back Elder Wally Kettler. That's Kessler, Wally shouts in exasperation. He runs right past Julie to embrace Elder Green. But Elder Green nudges him back towards Julie. Hey, I'm just keeping my promise, Wally, Julie says with a big cheesy grin. Wally doesn't believe it. He thought that the Dear John was the end of him. He tries to hug her, but he's pulled away by Elder Green. He's not released. Then Todd comes off the plane and his eyes meet Julie. I think I know you from somewhere, Julie says. Wally is thoroughly confused. He doesn't see how and invites Julie to meet Todd Richards, his one and only baptism. Julie only has eyes for Todd. They reach hands and continue to be fascinated by each other. Wally is crushed yet again. He ends up dropping to his knees and he grabs Julie's leg. Promise me you'll fast and pray before doing anything drastic. He tries to intervene in their reunion, but Elder Green says it's all over and drags him away. Maybe we can still be roommates back at BYU. Todd and Julie seem to be remembering what they've done long before, like they've known each other forever. We have a reprise of Feelings of Forever, Circle of Our Love.
Sometime, who can be certain when?
But if I knew you then, it's strange, I can't remember. Feelings come so very strong, like we've known each other oh so long.
We're back in the premortal realm, and the matron's necklace flashes, and it's finally Emily's turn. She's encouraged to be courageous and remember who she is. Pam is also there somehow and bids her farewell. Down on Earth in the Flinder's living room, Carol is suddenly very uncomfortable. She wakes her napping husband with a bad contraction. Another one comes. Jimmy, he's back home and goes to get the car. All of a sudden, she's having a baby in their living room. Kids trip and fall everywhere getting supplies. One child is told to call the doctor. Unfortunately, this is a horrible time for a power outage, which goes out due to a bad storm. Lightning crashes, and we hear Emily's first cries. Children bring in candles to light the scene, and we hear Saturday's Warrior once again. The movie closes as we see Jimmy holding his younger sister. He was able to keep his promise to Emily after all. Surrounded by darkness, the family unites as Emily comes from the premortal realm to visit the Flinders family as the last child of the Flinders. A touching ending to the movie. The movie then flashes over to a young boy in a white shirt who raises a sword to the sky with both hands, and we hear the title theme once more, Saturday's Warrior. There's a lot to unpack with Saturday's Warrior. Doctrinal issues, abortion, family planning, child abuse, loss of a loved one, access to emergency medicine during a storm, spandex, big hair. Shall I go on? This movie knows that it's cheesy and embraces it. We never really understand why Jimmy leaves the family for a time, although I guess you can suspect drug use and perhaps some other behaviors, but it's never really clear. The music duets and solos really help us understand the characters. My favorite line in the movie remains when Jimmy sings Sailing On. There is a distant lamp that lights the way for me. I hope they hold it high so I can see. Thanks so much for joining me to review this film. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and join us next time for another episode of the Mormon Movie Reviews, where LDS movie lovers belong. If you hold this movie high, it will be a lamp for your entertainment as well.